Hello, Top Fan Rivalry followers. It's the odd couple time. Yes, hello, Thursday. Baseball's back. Here we go. And we got a great show for you today. These guys have already told me what they want to talk about. I might just step out and but see, Mikey's wearing an amazing shirt and Dave's wearing an amazing shirt. So you guys can see it. I mean, they're still up on the website, guys. You can still get the TFR times HHC. You can still get the Think Blue Bleeds Blue shirt. Anyways, digression there. Mikey, Dave, how are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Yeah.
Doing good, man. Glad to have baseball back and be here with two of my favorite Dodger fans.
Thank you. All two of us, right?
I'm
Oh,
here
Well,
with my one Astros fan I claim.
there we go. So I got to throw Danny in there or he'll fill up my inbox. So shout out to my boy Danny.
shout out to
Oh.
Daddy. There you go. We can do that. All right. So baseball's back. What are your guys' thoughts? We've had a game in the books. A lot of funny things have happened in that game, a lot of frustrating things, and we'll get to that. But what are your thoughts? Why don't you lead us off, Mikey, and then we'll go to Dave.
Yeah. If you're into early morning games, this was a treat for you. This was like even, when you do the Wimbledon morning breakfast thing. Yeah. 3 a.m. for the diehards who were up and watching it. You know, Dodgers come out on top 5-2. It wasn't the prettiest game they've played over the last few years, but a win's a win, and we'll take it every time.
Yeah, definitely not the prettiest one for sure. Not the prettiest one. What do you think, Dave?
Okay, so here in Central Time Zone in God's country here, aka Texas, I had to get up at 5 a.m. to watch this game. But I got up at 5 a.m. to watch the Dodgers and the Padres. Tell me I wasn't missing some baseball. The first game to be played in South Korea, that's something to be said. I get it. I was excited. Chan Ho Park threw out the first pitch, the first Korean-born player to play in the big leagues. Much to my dismay, the Dodgers pulled one out, put up 4 in the 8th after an MVP performance by Jake Cronenworth's first base glove. I'm not sure. I think I've got Korean officials looking into it. I think the Dodgers, there may be some tampering involved. We'll find out later on. But one thing that I get from this, being a non-Dodger fan, most for sure, is that blue offense can score quick in a hurry and out of nowhere. There were several times where bases were loaded, runners were in scoring position, and Max Muncy struck out. But other than that, Glasnow in his Dodgers debut, he gave up a couple early, but I think he kept y'all guys in the game to let that offense do what it does. You got to let that offense cook 1 through 9. They're obviously some of the best in the game. And I think only 1 or 2 players didn't get a hit. And of those, one was a sac fly RBI, and the other was the error on the glove play. So Mookie goes 2 for 4 with a ribby and a walk. Ohtani gets his first hit in Dodger blue, and breaks a hole with a foul ball through the glass or something. And the only highlight that I really can speak on, as an Astros fan, is the Joe. There we go. All right, whoever hit Joe Kelly, kudos to you, man. But man, I got up to watch the game, and I watched the whole game. I had a sausage biscuit, and it was fantastic. I'm glad baseball's back, even if it was just a Dodger Padre game.
Yeah, it was Tyler Glasnow. His last performance before this one, he was absolutely dominant against, I believe it was, did they play the Giants, Bill?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was pretty much on. I don't think gave up a hit in 5 innings. This one, he was fighting it. maybe new mound. I don't know, but he had 4 walks as well in those 5 innings. So he was fighting a lot of traffic throughout those innings, which are, high stress innings. But to hold them to 2 with all those runners on, and you give that Dodgers offense, you keep them in a game like that, in the long run, the Dodgers will probably be successful.
Yeah, man. Hitters are going to hit, man. I don't know if we can talk about the international series opening up, with the opening day opening up on the road. Did that affect Glass now? Pitchers are funny creatures of habit, and traveling to Korea is not like just flying to New York. Mikey, what do you think about the international series and opening day? You having to get up at 3 a.m. to watch your beloved Dodgers play?
As a fan of the Dodgers, I do not like it. And I'll say why, and that is just like you said, it throws off. All these guys are creatures of habit. They all have their routines. I mean, once you leave, our country, times are completely different. I know that, they did a lot of sleep studies. They brought in sleep experts to talk to the players about what they should do and how they should eat and all these things to try and help them sleep, but yeah, I just, I don't like it. I think it throws off a team like this, and then you get a 26-man roster, and then even guys who are going to make the club this year, some stayed back, like James Paxton and a couple other guys who are going to make the club, but didn't make the trip because they weren't going to be used. So, and then they're not a part of the team at the for 2 games that really count, even though they weren't going to be used. I just think it throws off all the rhythm that and camaraderie and everything they've built up. So I'm glad, actually, though, when we do come back, we do have 3 games to reacclimate ourselves back in Southern California, and then a couple off days as well. So they'll have about 5 days before I think they play the Cardinals when they get back. So they should be reacclimated again. But yeah, I'm not a fan of it just seems like it throws everybody off of their natural rhythms.
You see, you must be just grumpy there because you got up early. I don't know. I actually really like some of the international games. That idea to have games in Puerto Rico and Cuba and Japan and now Korea. It's great for international baseball fans who can connect to their players. There's more and more international players in the league. And albeit it deprives one home team of some home games, but it does broaden the international appeal of the game, which is a win-win for everybody, really. The games in London, in Mexico City may not have as much as an appeal, but kudos to them for trying, because for one, I have tickets. The Astros are playing in Mexico City next month. They got 2 games against the Rockies, and I'm looking forward to it. I will say this. I do not think they should be opening the season like that. If you've got, like, Mexico City's the same time zone for us here in Houston and Colorado. So it's not that big of a deal to get down there. You're crossing international time zones, and you can't tell me it's not messing with somebody's sleep. I don't care what you're saying. If you've ever flown, if you've ever had the pleasure of flying to Europe or Japan or the Middle East, you know what I'm talking about. Jet lag is real. But, that being said, games in Australia, there's even more broadening appeal there. I'm not opposed to it. I like the putting it on the world stage. One of the biggest things I always have is actually calling it the World Series, when, let's be honest, it's not necessarily the World Series. And when you try to say that you're the world champs, you'll always have some international nut trying to tell you that, well, this ain't the League World Series either. But I'm not against international series, but I kind of agree with Mikey a little bit that opening day is a bit of a stretch. You're throwing your guys off. You're just timing everything. And forget that if you're not a Dodgers or a Padres fan, you're twiddling your thumbs for a week. You're just itching for more. I'm tuning into baseball tonight, and I just keep hearing about Blake Snell's ridiculous contract and the Dodgers and the Padres. If you're not living in California, you're watching basketball right now, and good luck. So,
yeah. You two are right. It's America's favorite pastime. Let's start here in America. If you want to do a world travel, you want to do it in England and Mexico City and things like that. But Dave, you bring up a great point. Time zone. I mean, remember, the Dodgers typically play at 7 p.m. in the evening. This game took place at 3 a.m. our time zone. So you're talking about, what is that, a 16-hour time difference? So you're talking about a 16-hour time difference. That's
basically
a big deal. And then to come back and play 3 games that don't matter against the Angels, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm also
as Bill would say, I was told there would be no math, so
yeah.
I'm not sure. The
you
time
saw me.
differences aside, yes,
I just rounded 16 hours to a full day. That works for me. Okay,
Close enough, right? Close enough. Hey, fellas, so what did you see today? Dave, you mentioned a little bit of some of the things, but Mikey, what did you see on the Dodgers side, or just in the game that you thought, okay, that's interesting, or yeah, not so much, don't like that?
No, I didn't see much that that bothered me. I was proud of the resiliency of the Dodgers. I mean, you know, eighth inning, battled back and took the lead and expanded on the lead and kind of coasted home, in the ninth. So I'd like to thank Jake Cronenworth's whoever inspected his glove and passed it. Kudos. Inspector 76, whatever. Good job.
I was said it to Bill earlier. He better not blame this on the equipment manager, bro. You know, it's the first game of the year. You need to be checking out your equipment, dude.
Yeah, well, they had on. I don't know if we're allowed to say KNBR 680, the sports leader for the Giants. They had JT Snow on today, and he said flat out, it's the first game of the year. That's Jake Cronenworth's responsibility to know that his glove would not be up to snuff or something, for something, it's Jake's fault. So
it's not like it was a screaming liner either. It was a slow dribbling, should have been double play that would have possibly, you may have scored another run there, but it would have kept them in the game. You guys blew it open at that point. Putting up 4, it's hard to win when your guys putting up 4 in the 8th inning you're playing against. But yeah, that and the catcher's interference on the throw to second, that was a weird kind of hitch today.
The umpire's interference.
I'm sorry, official interference. That and I was watching the game to see Jackson Merrill do something. And, I know it's the first game and it's on a big stage and you're in Korea and it's internationally televised, I should say. But you go 0 for 3. That's still a donut. So I wanted to see more out of the rookie. But other than that, I wish I had more than that. But, y'all put it together. Like I said, kudos to whoever got the hit off Joe Kelly. If you ever come into H-Town, holler at me. I'll buy you a beer.
So a couple of things that I saw that were interesting. And Mikey, I don't know if you caught these or not. First of all, everybody knows when the pitch clock starts and stops. 4 pitch clock violations today on the Padres. 4. Fellas, step off then. If you're going to if you're going to like just step off, you have 2 disengagements, step off. It just is the way it is. That's number one. Number two, the Padres gave up 9 walks today, but they also got 7 strikeouts. So that means the Dodgers are swinging at pitches. Mikey, Max expanded the zone twice when he struck out, and that's you and I talked about that, and that's a big deal. That's a really big deal because you got Kiki, you got Chris, you got a bunch of guys that want to play the game, and if he starts out a $135 in April, he's going to be picking a lot of splinters. But but the other thing, I don't know if you caught this. I
He
know
did
Dave,
have
you
a
were
hit and a
watching.
run scored, though. He did have a hit. He got a hit.
Yeah, I know, but he struck out with the bases loaded to end an inning, and he struck out with a runner on second to end the inning. So Dave, I know you were watching the game live. Did you notice that Hugh Darvish had 6 batters in a row that he started off with breaking stuff?
Yes. Hey, he put down some of you guys' best hitters there early, man. Hugh had his stuff going.
Yeah.
You know, he struck out. I know Freddie struck out, you know, and his veneers were shining the whole way. But yeah, he definitely put a big league swing and didn't connect there. His teeth they're weird to me. I don't know why.
Mikey, I don't know if you saw the game live, but Hugh Darvish, I was noticing he wasn't challenging batters. He was keeping them off balance. And as opposed, Tyler Glasnow's breaking ball was 37 feet. Like he kept bouncing that poor thing. Poor Will Smith's got bumps and bruises all over himself after this game. But Tyler Glasnow was gassing it up there at 97. The one thing I will tell you boys that drove me nuts, absolutely freaking drove me nuts. So I don't mind cheerleaders. Okay. You guys in Houston, you guys have the shooting stars. Okay. That's what they're called, right? Shooting stars?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys have the shooting stars. Okay. If you're going to have a microphone, have it connected to the freaking PA system. So they got the microphone and their own music as they're dancing on each dugout that's not connected to the PA system. And they're playing music and doing stuff during pitches. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it drove me nuts. I'm like, shh, this is when they're supposed to concentrate. You know,
Tommy would have freaked out if this was the Dodge. You remember when he had Yippee or whatever his name was, the Montreal Expos mascot ejected?
Yep. I do.
Okay, stuff. So yeah, it would drive me nuts if I'm sitting in the dugout trying to pay attention to my team and my game, and you just hear these people bouncing around up there. I'm one of those ones who doesn't think that you need cheerleaders in baseball. I'm sorry. It's just something I don't think baseball needs.
I don't mind the cheerleaders. Like Bill said, we got the glorious Silver Stars here in Houston. They do
Silver
a great
Stars or
job
shooting
in between
stars?
innings. In
Shooting
between
stars or
innings,
Silver Stars?
the shooting Silver Stars. Look, they're gorgeous, whatever you want to call them. They got the white boots on. They got the orange boots. No, they're the shooting stars. We play for the Silver Star, or the Silver Boot. Sorry, but they do it in the middle of the innings, in between the innings. Orbit is one of the best mascots out there. Philly fanatic, you can add me. I don't care. And he does fantastic stuff in the span in between innings. One of the things that still drives me crazy to this day, and unless you bring in a glove to the game and you're under the age of like 8, do not start the wave while your home team is batting. I don't care when your guys are batting. Have the baseball IQ of a banana and sit down. Just saying. It just bugs me.
Mikey, I think we're going to the game either the 12th or 13th next month. Mikey, I'll start the wave when Houston's batting, just for Dave. Just for Dave.
Yeah.
Right
when Altuve gets up. Right when Altuve gets up.
That's cool.
Maybe Jose Altuve will get caught in that undertow.
Now, the waves are gnarly down there in Venezuela, man. He knows how to surf. We're good. No worries. No worries.
He knows how to surf.
I just say, hey, if he has any electrical equipment on him, I don't want him to get electrocuted.
No, no, no. That was 51. That was the buzzer. That was the only time 50. That was the only time a buzzer got y'all was 51. So I love that factoid. I'm sticking
Yeah,
with that
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. But
Buzz Buzz 51.
it's the yeah. Mikey Dave wants to get a Giants jersey and put on the back of it,
Look,
Buzz 51. I mean, this guy poking the bear. But that's what he's got to do.
poking the
That's
bear. You
It
guys
just shows that these teams have to cheat to beat the Dodgers, whether in Brooklyn or LA. What are you going to do?
Hey, it just shows me why you guys are so bitter about it. It wasn't the first time. And it couldn't happen to a better bunch of ball guys, if you ask me. Brooklyn, LA, Trolley Dodgers, regular Dodgers, North Tijuana. I don't care. Buzz Buzz, 51, bang bang fastball all day long.
Man, I have nothing bad to say about J.R. Richard or any of them. I like the old Astros.
Mike
Let
Scott.
them play. Let them
Enos
play.
Cabell, Cesar Cedeno, Jose Cruz.
Speaking of Cesar Cedeno, go to Top Fan Rivalry right now and get your March Madness baseball movie bracket filled out. Brad
Yes.
Bears Breaking Training
I
featuring
believe Bob
Cesar
Watson made
Cedeno.
an appearance in that one as
He
well.
Yes.
Bob Watson
And the eighth
Cesar
wonder of the
Cedeno.
world that should be in the
Well, it's not. They were ousted in the first round in mine.
no way. Their first round opponent.
In
No
the first
way.
round, Mikey?
That's just pure hating on Houston at that point.
Wait, I don't have it in front of me. Who was their first round opponent?
It was somebody that they did not deserve to lose to.
Who
It may have
was
been
it?
like For the Love of the Game or some boring movie like that. Bill.
Billy Chappell.
I'll tell you right
Boom.
now. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. It was. Hold on. Trouble with the Curve.
Yep, Clint Eastwood, my man.
No, bro.
Wah, wah, wah.
No. Where's my bullhorn? I've lost my bullhorn. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh,
Where's my bullhorn?
look, go out there and help offset this awful voting by Mikey Bleeds Blue. He probably picked all Lords of Flatbush featuring the Fonz and the Brooklyn Dodgers. They're probably won. I don't know.
Yeah, and Duke Snyder were in that, I think.
So I got to ask you, fellas, since we're
featuring
talking about
a very
this.
young Sandy Koufax.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about this, what did you guys think of those brackets?
Nah, it was good. I can't believe you didn't put in the Slugger's wife, but whatever.
So that's gonna make the cut for next year. That
Neither
one's
can the
making
Slugger. But thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I'll be here all week. Thank you.
I just can't believe all these Braves fans have never seen or heard of this movie. I don't. This is Fulton County Stadium, Atlanta Braves, Bob Horner, Dale Murphy, Ken Oberkfell, Biff Pocaroba, the Braves from the 80s.
The Braves didn't have a fan base until the 90s, bro. Let's be honest.
Well, they had Dale Murphy,
Glenn Hubbard.
It's like a gray area.
What was the guy's name? Bob Horner,
From
right?
Hank
Broke his arm, came out for the fight against the Padres.
Yeah.
I had fun with this, and I did the best I could. Fellas, I'm going to tell you, those of you that look at this bracket, I did the best that I could to keep it lopsided, just like a March Madness, 1 versus 16. I mean, there shouldn't be any surprises.
There was a few first round, like, ooh, I had to make a choice. I think I had a choice that came down to the Sandlot and Major League, and that was pretty tough.
That's second round.
Yeah,
second round.
That was pretty tough. Man.
I'm gonna say that was not a tough choice for me, and I'll tell. Can I say my picks?
Go ahead.
That one I had the Sandlot ousting Major League.
So I took Major League and I went with how many references do I use on more frequent basis, and I definitely use a lot more from Major League. I think.
And I'm older than you, and I would have to say the other way for me. I use a lot more from the Sandlot than I do from Major League.
I use a few, my boy Hamilton Porter's got some good ones, and my boy Squints, but I mean, sure, anyway, it was too high. I use that stuff every time there's a fly ball that gets caught in the warning track. I say that it was too high. It was too high.
Whatever, it's gone.
But yeah, no, I think my final four came down to Major League, Bad News Bears Breaking Training, featuring the eighth wonder of the world, Houston Astrodome. Duh. A League of Their Own, which that's one of the best movies ever, and Brewster's Millions. Don't at me. Go watch it. It's a great movie.
As I can't, I don't have mine in front of me, but he picks 3 out of 4 horrible movies there. I don't know what he's thinking. But you know, whatever.
I guarantee he's got 42, probably 61, and Flatbush in the top 4 somehow, some way.
The Ghost of Flatbush was a really good documentary, Dave. You have to watch that.
It is on my list. I just rewatched Ken Burns' baseball 18 hours. I signed up for the free pass on PBS and squeezed it in before the free trial ran out. So yeah, I'm gonna catch up on the Ghost of Flatbush. See, I got it right there. I'm gonna give you some respect.
The Ken Burns one I could just put on loop on my TV and I would be happy. That one is, I mean, from the beginnings of baseball where it's not even hardly a ball to all the way through, you know, to where when he did it, I mean, that was just an amazing film. I mean, the guy does amazing. He did the Vietnam War. He did other stuff. And I didn't watch those, but the baseball one, if all his other ones are anywhere near that, the guy's incredible. I mean,
yeah, that is one thing as an Astros fan that I am envious of Dodger Nation is the sheer history that you guys have. You've got, 100 years of history there. I loved watching all that old stuff, hearing about Ebbets Field and the Polo Grounds. And, New York was the mecca for baseball for so long. I became a baseball fan watching bad Astros teams, but 80s baseball was so rugged and just, you had the unwritten rules leaned on heavily. If you watched a homer for too long, or if you had something to jaw at a pitcher, you can pretty much guarantee that sometime in the near future, you're catching one in the ribs, if not sailing over your head. They did not play about it.
Those older year teams were not afraid to put one in your ear if they wanted to.
Ask Dizzy Dean.
Big D, you had 2 of the finest of doing that. You didn't screw with Mike Scott and you didn't screw with Nolan Ryan.
You did not. And then ask Robin Ventura what happens if you decide to square up with the old man. Robin Ventura will ask you to be removed from a signing if you ask him to sign that. I'm just saying, I've done it. He does not like that photo at all.
So,
then don't go out there like I think he a little gun shy going, geez, this is Nolan Ryan. What if, I don't want to hurt the guy, and then he gets put in a headlock and crap.
He forgot that Nolan Ryan owns a cattle ranch and flings cattle around in the off season. Robin Ventura wasn't nothing. He caught that headlock, and that man, a Nolan Ryan punch. I mean, he throws an exploding fastball, a fastball that goes so fast that it disappears before your eyes. He was getting in some good shots on Ventura.
He threw out a first pitch a couple years ago that I think was like 79 miles an hour or something.
Nolan could probably win 10 games easy right now.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you boys as we're wrapping up, did either one of you take the upset in the first round, which was Bull Durham against Mr. Baseball and the Natural against Summer Catch? Did either one of you take Summer Catch or Mr. Baseball?
No, I did not.
I absolutely love Paul Newman. I'm kidding. Yeah. It's an old joke. It's a running gag.
It's a running joke with Dave and I.
But yeah, no. I straight up.
Same
But
here.
yes, there
Yeah.
were some curveballs though. I made a few picks that I know will not be popular picks, but
So,
I
Bill, do
guarantee
we
if you
have
go watch the movies, you'll like them.
2 minutes? Do we have 2
Yeah.
minutes?
Yes, sir.
So I know we were going to talk about, if we had time, a great one of your fond memories of opening day for your team. Mine was 2013 Clayton Kershaw
Okay.
pitching a complete game shutout and hitting a home run, winning 1-0 against the Giants.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
My
Yes.
favorite opening day moment actually also happened in 2013. It was the Astros' first game as an American League team. We played our now division rival Rangers and blew them out with a dominating 8-2 win. A young third-year player by the name Jose Altuve went 2-for-4 with RBI. Seasons up to that point. It was the first one in the AL. So it was definitely nice. And it was also consequently the Astros' 4,000th win as a franchise. So pretty cool.
I just find it incredible that, he plays Major League Baseball and yet he can't even get on half the rides at a fair,
Big fastball.
See, with the contract he just signed, he don't go to the fair. The fair comes to him. Okay.
That's very true. Very true. I will tell you so that Clayton Kershaw one, Mikey, I was working for a company and I had just taken care of a big deal, and my boss took me out, and literally we were sitting at an Irish bar and restaurant that a buddy of mine owned that was a huge Giants fan. And he comes over to our table, starts talking trash. Oh, they're gonna let Clayton, you know, ha ha ha. I think it was against Mad Bomb. And I said, Clayton's gonna go yard. And when he went yard, I just said, call me Bill Odamas. That one, but the Cody Bellinger home run / out / RBI passing up Justin Turner, that one is also a favorite of mine too.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that one's a favorite of mine, but I recall
it's fun.
And then
I mean, our first win in the AL was definitely a great memory for me. I think we lost a record of 111 games that year. So, yin and yang. But
the funny thing about that home run that was that ball left the yard and he was out, and then or was it, what does it go as what happened on that play, Bill? What does Cody get out of it? What did he get? An out?
So Cody Bellinger got called out, got credited for a single, and got an RBI.
Right. So the ball happened, or did it leave the yard, or did he throw it back in? Did his glove throw it back in?
I think I want to say it was Profar jumped up, caught it in his glove, but as he was coming down, it fell out of his glove, went up in the air, and went over the yard, or went out of the yard.
Okay. So funny thing about that was that one actually did leave the yard and didn't count as a home run because of the rule. And then our first home run actually that season, I think, was the next day. It was Zach McKinstry hit an inside the Parker.
That's right. Inside the park. All right, boys, let's do this again next week. Yes?
Yes.
All right. For the odd couple, first of all, the shirts. Okay. Mikey's wearing Think Blue Bleeds Blue. Use the code Bleeding Blue or Bleeds Blue. Get yourself 10% off. Dave's wearing the HHC, which stands for Houston Hat Crew and Top Fan Rivalry. Use the code Big Dave. Get yourself those shirts. You can bundle them up. It's great stuff. Don't forget to fill out your bracket. Boys, stick around for 30 seconds. Thank you for being awesome today. Have a good one, guys.